Hi, everybody. It's Linda G. and Mel Dorr
I
with
wait when
his
you said it's Linda G. Do I look like look?
with his Hawaiian shirt.
There you go with my Aloha shirt. Linda's prettier than I am, that's for sure.
Shoot.
Um,
92 days left till November 3rd midterms.
it'll come quick. Um, I got my cousin just cut my hair. My cousin Ralph, his daughter Alyssa, is getting married on August 7th to Ryan. So we welcome them into the family.
Are you going to the wedding?
I'm going to officiate.
Aw.
You know, when I say my Italian family, I'll tell the story. Many, many years ago, I went to college.
Okay, we're done. Let's keep going.
Story done. That's it. Next phase.
Next.
Yeah, boring story, Mel. Move on. Um, when I say I'm German, Irish, and Italian, many years ago, I went to college for a semester after I graduated high school, and I was totally immature, unprepared, flunked out. Then I helped take care of my grandfather, who died of cancer for 2 years. And when he died, I moved here to Illinois. And I met a family. I started doing my readings, and Marianne Minotti, she's now in spirit. They took me under wing, and they really um, straightened my life out. And so they encouraged me to go back to college, so I did. And then I would come here and work and do readings. And so
Yeah.
they helped me through college. And when I finished college, I moved here and I lived with them. So when I say my Italian side of the family, that's who I'm referring to because they adopted me. And I was talking to Alyssa and her husband to be in my office because I always like to meet with the prospective bride and groom
Right.
before I do a ceremony. They call me Auntie Mel as well. She said, you know, Auntie Mel, you are a Menotti. She said, you're part of the family. And I cried. So it's
Oh,
been like 50 years that, that I've been with the family. So needless to say, when she asked me to officiate, I'm crying now. Um, I just feel so, so honored. And I want it to be so perfect. So I'm officiating the wedding on August the 7th. And then the next day I leave for Iceland. So
yeah, I've got you in my calendar because we won't be on one of those Mondays.
I just want to say hi to Andrew Oniki real quick. Um, hi, Andrew. And we've got Gettysburg coming up at the end of September with Kevin. And tonight, Kevin and I are doing a show to talk about it. Um, so I'm excited about that and a lot of things coming. But anyway, so what's going on with you, Miss G?
Well, they're still working on my road, which I'm looking through my camera. Being it's so hot, you know how I am. I want to take care of the boys. I left a big cooler of ice and water out there for the workers. And I just noticed somebody's parked in my driveway.
Um, oh wow.
It looks like, can you hold on 1 second? I'm going to put us on pause. Let me just double check.
No worries.
So I wanted to do like a station identification. I
Yes.
want to tell you guys that I gave news that I didn't double check about the Moroccans that were going into, um, I just went blank. There was thousands of them, and they went into what country was that? And they blamed it on Israel. Israel sent all those refugees into the country. You
Egypt. They were
guys
going to Egypt,
know it
right?
was another country. Might have been Morocco.
Well, Morocco. Wait, who was going to Morocco?
Anyway,
Whatever. Somebody was going
Anyway,
somewhere.
what you guys remember what I told you, and I'll look it up specifically. But a nice woman who's Jewish, she let me know, that that wasn't true. And sure enough, I re-looked it up. It might have been the United States that planned that,
Right.
but it wasn't Israel.
We got to be careful because when we people ask questions and we try to answer them, but sometimes people base those questions on what they've heard.
what I've
And
heard. And I've done that quite often. And and thank God we got such good people because they let me know right away.
and my people too, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And when they do, then I'll correct it, or I'll
But
and then
I want
I'll
to apologize too. And the other thing is, I told her about, I think it's my fifth great grandmother came in from Poland. She was Jewish and went to Limerick Island and married a nice Irish guy, and they went to the United States. And there is a Jewish ship center in Limerick Island that I wanted to go to when my sister and I were in Ireland, but I wasn't able to do it due to time constraints. So she gave me the name of a real good lookup place online that I can find. So now I'm going to really sit down and work and find out more about my fifth great grandmother.
I did that. I did on Ancestry. I traced and I traced on my mom's side on my grandfather Lavely and my grandmother. I traced them back to 1690 and
Yeah.
found we had relatives that fought in the Revolutionary War. On dad's side, they all came
Yeah,
from.
I have daughters of the Revolution. I also, because I could go from my grandmother, the real Irish side. Her her maiden name was Flint. And I follow that. And I went all the way to King David of Scotland and William the Lion.
Ooh,
Yeah, I come from direct descendant of royalty, as you can
that's why
tell.
you have that way, dear. Mine were probably peasants working in the king's chamber, emptying the chamber pot. I don't know.
Right, right. But it's kind of
Um,
exciting. I really loved it. But I will waste days just sitting on genealogy.
oh, I
I
love it.
pay like 49, nearly $50 a month. And half the time I don't use it, but I don't want to lose all my information.
I love doing that. When, it's addictive. You put it on hold for a while and you get started but you learn a lot. Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, were you talking about the people of Gaza that were leaving? Is that what you're talking about?
No, no.
Well, we have somebody here, Nat, I said, Nat, I'm sorry, says, can we take a moment to send our love and light to Gaza, specifically the
Oh,
children?
yes, those poor people.
Well, the people that are unfortunately getting murdered across the globe because of some power-hungry wannabe dictators who start wars, like, the people in Ukraine because of the war Putin started, and innocent Russians are getting killed as well. In Gaza, innocent people there and innocent Israelis. In Iran, innocent Iranians and innocent American soldiers. But my guides assure me that Chitolini, Putin, Netanyahu, that they will face justice.
Oh, I know they will. Yeah,
So,
no
yeah.
doubt. And listen, I want to tell you guys, do you remember how perplexed I was about um, Blanche? When I say Blanche, it always reminds me of you calling me, okay, Blanche.
Hey, Blanche. She came to the airport and she texted me, do not, whatever you do, do not yell out, hey, Blanche. I saw her getting off the airplane. Hi, Blanche.
And I kept walking.
She kept walking.
Um, so, uh, but I want to tell you because I got too mixed. Remember, I said, nah, he's not going to get in. And then I thought he could get in by the hair of his chinny chin chin. Well, now those two Democrats are going to vote for him. They said they got assurance that he would take off the table that money for the fund. But you know what? But it makes sense because I kept getting two different roads. So, but I want you to know he's not going to last long.
You're talking about Blanche, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I had that in my notes. I put, yeah, he did reach a deal, and will that get him nominated as Attorney General? I always saw him at some point getting nominated, but not lasting long. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And
because
Trump wasn't going to get rid of him. He would just have him on duty behind closed doors until, I don't know
well,
why he thought till midterms because there's no chance in hell that guy would come in midterms.
today is August 3rd. I think they changed the law in Kentucky, but Bashir, I think, is really pushing for them to say, okay, what's going on with Mitch McConnell? Um, And it used to be that up to a certain point, the governor could appoint somebody, but now I
Right.
think it has to be a special election.
Yeah, and everybody's mad at him for allowing it to go that far.
Well, you know, um, I guess the question is, will there be a special election in Kentucky?
Let me look.
I hear yes.
Let me look.
Um, that you hear all these politicians saying, "Oh yes, we spoke to Mitch McConnell," and my famous response is, "Yeah, but did he speak back?"
The other thing is, I'm wondering if this is pissing off Republicans in Kentucky. Like, well, why if they know if McConnell's a no-show, why is he a no-show? They're not, a lot of them are, except, you know, some of the maggots, but a lot of them aren't putting up with it.
A
Yes,
lot
there will be a special election.
a lot of the deep blue states, I mean, I'm sorry, the deep red states, they're a lot of those deep red areas are turning blue. A lot of those
Yeah.
states are going to be more
Well,
purple.
these poor people, they don't have any insurance and they're cutting their food stamps and everything.
It's terrible. It is absolutely horrible. Um, and during elections, people vote on economic issues, not so much social ones. And
Yes.
so, Trump is telling us how great everything is. And how's the old saying, don't peel my leg and tell me it's raining? And
Yeah.
that's exactly what Trump is doing.
Yeah.
Um, and now I understand that Iran is denying Trump's claims that peace negotiations are supposed to begin today. So you all, no matter what Donald says, just assume it's a lie.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's announcing, Iran announced we're not in any negotiations.
Just
So
like the
the
reflecting,
stock market, because gas prices went down, the stock market went up again.
it's like a yo-yo, and we had predicted the stock market would be like a yo-yo. And what
Yeah.
about Janine Pirro and the DOJ dropping charges against that Olympian because he really didn't do anything wrong? And now Trump is mad at Janine Pirro. I don't know what she was thinking. Well, she was thinking
Well,
that
John Kennedy was on and talking to the news, and he said, "You don't lie to a federal judge." Her license and everything. She had no choice, but he doesn't care.
correct. So,
Is
uh,
Janine Pirro going to be kicked out by Trump? Because, he wants to fire her. But I do see some people telling her her back was against the wall. He has no proof of any of this. This guy's going to sue the government, by the way.
oh, he will. And even the Department of the Interior, that head guy, oh, we have videos, we have this. You know what? No, you don't.
That's like, I'll never forget this story. Judy Rudiani, because the judge said, I wanted to believe Trump that the thing was stolen. I liked Trump at that time. And Giuliani was in there and he said, dude, fine, just give me the proof. Give me something that I can work with. Oh, sure, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry, it's out in my car. I'll get back to you. He never did.
There was nothing. Just like during the birther thing, Trump started that whole birther thing. I've got proof, I've got people in Hawaii and they're going to come out in a couple of weeks and tell everybody that, proof that positive that Obama was not born in Hawaii, and it never happened. Anytime he
They
said
lie. Don't believe what you see. Always know that they're lying.
it.
And
So
but look at she's still gonna get in some trouble.
I feel it. Her career after
He's
this,
thinking about getting rid of her.
her career after this is going to be done.
Yeah.
I see her under investigation. I don't think she'll go to jail, but I even see her taken off the bench.
I wouldn't doubt it because she's got trouble. And can I tell you, she knows it. And I honestly believe, as much as she loves Trump, she really will defend herself.
My light bulb just went on. She's going to be another Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's gonna go after her, and she is going to turn coat on Trump. You mark my words.
Wow.
We'll see how that plays out.
Let's see how that plays out.
Okay.
Okay,
Um,
here's a good one.
Go ahead.
Because can I ask a question?
Go, of course. No, you can't.
An attorney representing a group of fishermen from Ecuador, Alexander Bravo, was recently assassinated And by the way, they warned him, get off this case, because he was going to help the fishermen and their families who were blatantly bombed by the United States government. And they killed him.
And yeah, that's right. And tortured the
So
family.
will these fishermen, yes, I just heard yes, because I was going to say, will these fishermen be able to receive justice? And I just heard yes, but they're telling me not until, after the midterms. And let me tell you something else that the guides told me the other day. So much is going to be reversed. And yes, it's very sad about all the damage he's done to this country, but he's really going to feel it before he leaves.
That's
So I
right.
don't know, it could even be this Iran thing, but he's really going to know that people just, his numbers are dropping.
And they're going to continue to plummet.
He's he's got a thing where you can get his text messages before they formally go out if you pay I don't know how much money.
A
And where does
million
that
dollars.
money?
A
Where does that
million
money go?
$1 million.
Where does that money go? In his pocket.
You got that right. A million, yeah. You can join his club, I forget, for $1 million, and he will tell you what he's going to do before he does it, before he
Right,
announces it to
right.
everybody. I don't know. I think Iran is going to force U.S. concessions. They're doing it already.
They're already doing it. They hold all the cards.
They do. And you know what? Even, Trump here again, he can tell us how wonderful he's doing, and look at the nuclear threat, blah, blah, blah. They're the ones that are pulling the strings, not Trump. I can tell you that
Yeah.
right now. And what about the people in Spokane? There were
Oh, isn't that
65,000 people.
just all kinds of people lost their homes. It reminds me of here when we had the Tubbs fire. It
It's
was horrible.
it's due to climate change. I mean, the
Oh yeah.
drought and the politicians say no.
Unprecedented heat and roads buckling. That's how bad it is.
Oh yeah,
And Nevada, Las Vegas, and everything, they're going through a lack of water. What do you call it? Drought.
drought. Yeah, Lake Mead is at all-time lows. Um, you
The
know,
guys just told me Lake Mead will be refurbished in the wintertime.
okay,
Doesn't help them now, though.
I'm praying for rain for
I
Spokane.
remember Georgia was going through a horrible one, and they were like nearly out of water. And then the guides told me, don't worry, they're going to get refilled. And they sure did, but people lost their lives that got refilled so high.
It's Spokane, right? Not Spokane, Spokane, I think.
Yeah.
I always mispronounce it, but
But it's Washington's a beautiful area.
it's gorgeous. I love the Pacific Northwest. Um, Washington's a beautiful state. Um, but prayers to the people there. Uh,
Definitely prayers.
Ukrainian drone. There was a thing that a Ukrainian drone supposedly hit a Russian beach. My guides told me that the Ukrainians weren't behind it. It was Putin that did it and wanted to blame the Ukrainians.
I think that exactly. Did he
Uh,
kill anybody? Did it kill anyone?
I think 7 people, but
Yeah,
if I-
he'll set that up
but also
because
Ukrainian.
that's not how Zelensky rolls. He
No,
never has rolled like that.
he won't. No, but a Ukrainian drone strike did hit a Russian warehouse in Russia. So, but
Yeah,
even the
that's how
Russians
they
are tired.
roll.
Even the Russians are tired of this war. There's a lot of Ukrainian, Russians, Belarus, people from the former Soviet Union here in Chicago. And even the Russian people are telling me that they have had it. Their relatives are in Russia, and many Russian people have had it with Putin. So
Because they're
I,
struggling,
I see him taken out. Maybe you think they'll push him out of a first floor window or something.
hopefully. I got
Uh,
to tell you something real quick. I had the weirdest dream last night.
what's your dream?
I dreamt that
Well, I had a facelift.
I was having like an outpatient surgery. I don't know what the surgery was. And I stayed at my friend Daniel's house with him and his wife in New Jersey. And they have just a little wee house, and I was supposed to sleep on the couch. And so I go there, and all these flowers were coming in from different people. And I was totally touched. And then Bon Jovi walked through the door with his
Whoa.
wife, and he got me this eloquent whoa, kind of like what you send me, the birds of paradise and stuff.
He's got good taste.
Yes. And I was like, whoa. And I said, have I ever met you? And he said, no, but my wife and I watch your show faithfully. And I
What?
was so touched. And then they left, and I remember thinking, I didn't take a picture. My sister's going to kill me because my sister is the picture person now. But then Dan and his wife came down. And I told them, guess who was just here? Bon Jovi. And they were thrilled. His wife was a little petite, cute thing. But the guy I saw, Dan, the one I've known, and I've seen pictures of him, looked nothing like what I've seen. He had ear studs and diamonds all the way down he had tats all over his body, on his fingers. And I remember thinking, this isn't the same Dan I know. I mean, he was friendly enough, but I was like looking at him like, dude. So
Wrong, Dana. I,
So,
I
my friend David wants to know, will the Major League Baseball owners lock the players out during off season because they want to have a salary cap that the players oppose, among other things? The 2027 season is in peril. Billionaires owner fighting billionaire ball players over how much of the pie the other side deserves.
the owners will try it, but I see the ball players going on strike and saying
That's
it.
what I just saw while I was reading it. They
Right,
did this before, right? They went on strike.
right.
They'll shut
And
it down.
and here's the deal, those billionaire uh, uh, baseball team owners, if the players go on strike, they'll threaten to fire the players, and the players are going to say, fire us, because without us, you ain't going to keep your billions. You ain't going to make any money on
That's
baseball.
true. That's true.
So,
I do see them trying to do legal action too. Yeah,
well, my feeling is I don't know if the ball players have a union, but I see them wanting to unionize, and I see a strike, no pun intended, and I see the players forcing forcing the owners to come up with some dolsky.
right, right.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Billy Cudney says, "Hi, Linda and Mel. I have heard that James Tallarico is actually a wolf in sheep's clothing. Also, that Haley Stevens will win against Abdul El Sayed. I'm hoping this isn't true. I know you read on them both before. Thank you."
I
I
don't. I see Tellerico winning, and I don't see he's a wolf in sheep's clothing because the Republicans will say anything,
Tallarico is gaining points against Paxton, and they will feed all kinds of misinformation.
anything,
First,
all
first,
lies.
first they said he was transgendered. Who cares? Then they said that he's a vegan. I don't care if he eats a mailbox, you know? Um, and now
They're trying, but it's not going to work.
I like him, and I'm telling you, he's going to be president one day.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. If he doesn't win, it's because Paxton set it up. And let
That's
me tell you guys something else. I don't see Elon Musk being able to hurt our chances. He might even right now, he's up to maybe serving 14 years in jail for that little stunt he pulled about giving $1 million to whoever voted for Trump.
and he's also in more trouble in France and some European countries. And they're going to say you cannot influence these elections.
Yeah.
I see him under indictment, and I don't want to sound disingenuous.
I do
And
see him sort of try, but I feel somebody's on top of him immediately, like flies. So you know what? I almost see they're watching him to see if what he's going to try.
I see him losing a big part of his fortune. And once there's Trump and his regime is gone and Cittadini, I see another company coming that's going to put satellites in orbit to help bring internet and things like that to hard to reach places. So a lot of those governments will drop their contracts with Elon Musk because he provides internet service,
And
and they're
he
gonna.
might be talking out his side mouth because he could just got a 1.6 billion contract from the government. And then he was saying, I'm going to help Trump yeah, he's talking.
Well, once Trump is gone, I don't see that contract's going to get rescinded or not. He's not going to get any more government contracts from here. And a lot of other countries, I'm telling you, aren't going to renew his contracts
Yep.
for his communication satellites. They'll put up their own. And that's what I see. So, okay.
So
But I like Tallarico. I don't think he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I think that he's honest. I think he has integrity. I don't think he'll put up with any BS. But
no.
I'm telling you, he's going to be
And his
president.
girlfriend's a vegan, and that's a plus for the vegan supporters out there.
I don't, here again, I don't care if she eats a mailbox.
So, who will win the Democratic nomination in Minnesota? Will it be Angie Craig or Peggy Flanagan?
Oh, I haven't really looked.
I haven't looked and I don't know who they are.
Um, I'll do some research on it. Right now, I don't know, but right off the top, it feels like the first name you mentioned. But um, I do think that Minnesota will. They're blue now, but I see them staying blue,
Okay, good, good.
and so will Michigan.
Right. Well, Trump said Iran didn't do the water thing, but Iran might not have done it. It might have been Russia or Israel.
But if that's the case, all right, then where was the security? That shows that
Oh yeah,
somebody.
that we've always had a really, and they've been warning you guys are treating this haphazardly. We're
Right.
going to have better security in the near future.
That somebody had their pants down and wasn't doing their job, you know. Okay, it's your turn.
No, it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. PEC 9905, whoever that is, hi, says, Hi, Linda and Mel. What do you see happening during the lame duck weeks after Republicans lose the November election, but before the new Congress convenes January 1? I'm afraid they're going to be worse than ever. I don't think so. I think that Trump will try to ramrod a bunch of stuff through, but I don't think it's going to get there. Maybe the House, but not the Senate.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Uh,
feeling too. Exactly.
uh, because remember, something might pass the House, but it doesn't have to pass the Senate, especially with Mitch McConnell not being able to vote.
Yeah,
So it gives the Democrats more of a lead, not a majority, but more of a lead.
right. Oh, and the Democrats are doing some sort of lawsuit right now because Mitch McConnell was an auto pen a while ago when he was supposed to be down. Auto pen, they said, nope,
Mm-mm.
nope.
And the Democrats will win that suit too.
Yeah, they'll win it.
They're
Uh,
covering it up. They're covering it up until the midterms because they don't want a special election because they're afraid a Dem might get in.
but a Dem's going to get in. Their biggest fear is going to happen.
Bingo.
Their biggest fear, because this trying to pull the wool over all the people in Kentucky, there's some smart people out there that are going to say, I don't like the taste of this in my mouth. There's something wrong with this.
You know, what's bad is when they insult our intelligence. We're not buying the misinformation anymore. We're not buying the propaganda anymore. We're
Right.
not, you know, um,
Will the IRS slush fund for Trump 9/11 cronies, Flynn, Bannon, and others doing his dirty work be stopped?
yes.
I feel too, after all, it says the judge declared the lawsuit and settlement with the IRS corrupt. Yeah, they're going to hold on to it. It's not going to happen.
I don't think so. Okay. Monica says, how much longer must we endure ICE terrorizing our streets? That's a very good question. I'm Mexican and I'm scared to travel because they are at the airports. Is it safe for me to travel? Um, it's
I say
unfortunate.
stay, batten down the hatch and wait. This will change after the midterms, believe it or not. Uh,
And
and
I
not
see,
until January of the midterms, just knowing that these Democrats can cut their funding is really going to help.
and um, I see um, those ICE agents that murdered those two people in Minnesota And then the other guy, I forget what state it was in, they murdered him. They shot somebody here in Illinois. She almost died. Those agents are going to be tried in those states.
Oh, but they're telling everybody you can't put them under, investigation or anything. They'll all be, all of it, with Renee, with the nurse, all of them are going to be in trouble.
They're all going to be under investigation. And I see legislation pass to prevent any future rogue president, let's pray there won't be another one, not to be able to pull this kind of stuff.
Right.
I mean, legislation limiting presidential power, which I think it should be.
Yeah, it will down the road here.
Right.
So many MAGAs are not remembering COVID correctly.
Yeah,
They know what really happened.
right.
But the fact that Stephen Miller's wife threw Dr. Fossey under the bus, how much longer will it be till RFK Jr. is gone? We can't give you time frames, you guys. We've told you that, but he'll be gone. But will she pay any price for lying like that?
It'll come out that she lied and she's going to look really bad. You know, Stephen Miller, once Trump is gone and the Maybelline Queen has gone, his career is going to be shot. You know, I see him under investigation. Here again, obstruction
Ooh.
of Miller
Oh, he's not only going to be under investigation, he's going to be tried. A
and
tribunal.
and of course and incarcerated. I wonder how he'll look in orange. We'll
But
send him some
she's a
blue.
nothing burger. They're not going to listen to her.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Your turn. Oh, it's my turn, right?
Return.
Vincent Worm. Hi, Vincent. How are you? He says, hi, Linda and Mel. Vincent came to our thing in San Francisco.
Vincent, yeah.
Yeah. He says, Sterling psychic medium mentioned on his show yesterday that Democrats will only win a slim majority in Congress due to a variety of interference with voting and vote counting. Do you guys feel this is the case? Well, number one, I don't like to read on what another
Me
psychic
too. I
said
don't like to read on what some other psychic said.
because, you know, they could be right, I could be wrong. We all are vice versa. We all get things differently. They
Right.
might be seeing something I'm not. So, you know, but so let's just ask, um, will the Democrats win? And if they do, how big of a majority will it be? How's that?
They're just now saying that that new guy they picked for Maine is going to win by a landslide over
Yes,
Susan Collins.
he is going to whoop her butt. And, you know, she might try to stay active in politics, but after this, she's done.
She's
She's
done.
so,
I see her
uh,
trying to write a book that ain't going to happen.
well, it'd be like Melania's book. Who would read it? So, what do you think? Do you think that well, Congress meaning
They're
what?
throwing a lot of money at it. That's where the money helps. But I can't tell you it's a thin majority. I just see them winning.
Well, Congress is the House and the Senate, right?
Yeah.
So then you're asking about both houses. I know the Dems are going to take over the House. Um,
And I know they're going to take over the Senate. I do.
it might be a smaller majority in the Senate, but at least it'll be a majority.
At least they'll get the majority.
I'm just wondering who that they will put as Speaker of the House when the Dems take over.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Hey everybody, we're back. Technical issues. So Vincent also asked, hi Mel and Linda, do you feel it would take a couple of decades to clean up all the damage that Trump, Voight, and other Confederates wrought on our government? I like, Vincent, that you said Confederates. Yay. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while to regain the trust of those countries with whom we traded.
It'll open up faster though because he's not in office. That'll help. Trust me. They know he's a loser.
But I
They
think
can't get over the American people allowing him to do what he's doing. We should be armed and ready to go. We should be marching like crazy.
exactly. I think a lot of those countries like Canada, hi Canada, elbows to Canada. I think, certain European countries like Germany, a lot of them are going to say, wait a minute here, we want to reinforce our treaties, and so that some president can never instill these sorts of tariffs ever again,
Yeah,
uh, just to do it to retaliate. So I think they're going to want to see legislation passed in this country to prevent anyone like Trump pulling those unreasonable tariffs. Uh, so, it'll take that to start to gain their trust back.
right, exactly.
But, some of the damage can be repaired pretty quickly. Others, it'll take a while. But I
Right.
don't think it'll take decades. I really don't.
Yeah. Now, someone asked about North Korea. Do you see that changing anytime soon? I don't. I see Kim Jong-un holding on tightly.
Right. Distant future. Many years ago, I predicted this was in in the 1980s. I predicted it on the radio that I saw the Berlin Wall falling, and everybody laughed at me. And it did happen. And ultimately, I see, North Korea. Oh my goodness, is probably one of the most heavy dictatorships and most restrictive on the planet. But this is going to be years from now, probably not even in our lifetime. But uh, ultimately, they will become more free, but it's just going to take many, many, many,
And
many.
Trump made somebody on the news said he made some sort of comment about doing something to hurt North Korea. And I thought, what are you crazy? That's just like him hitting Iran. What are you crazy?
Yeah. I mean, then he's talking about Cuba. And it's like, what? Um, and here's a guy who
Oh,
said,
remember he was first in office and demanded that Canada sign themselves over to the United States.
yeah. And here, I don't want any more wars. I don't want any wars in the Middle East. I'm going to make peace. I'll end the war with Ukraine in 4 days. And here we are. And when he invaded, Iran, it'll be just a few days. And I thought, no, it won't. And here we
Jesus.
are. Okay. 68 says, Hi, Mel and Linda. Will there be a cure for type 1 diabetes in children anytime soon? Or,
Absolutely. I'm going
but
to tell you two big cures that I saw. I can't tell you when. Diabetes and the other one, well, there's three actually, and they've already got the method. It's just the United States isn't dealing with the people who know what they're doing. Pancreatic cancer, and the other one is Alzheimer's. And a man who had Alzheimer's in life came to me in spirit when I was reading a lady, and he told me to tell her that there will be a pill form you can take that prevents, once you become, they know you have Alzheimer's, it prevents you from getting worse. You can stay at a certain level. And she was very happy to hear that. And he kept showing the number two to me. But it wasn't no 2 years even. It's more than that. So, but it's coming. And I just saw in the Wall Street Journal that they have a pill form now. So,
Well, I think, with the research being done in monoclonal antibodies and biologicals, I think you're right. With type 1 diabetes, what they're doing now is they did a study. Type 1 diabetes is in children, it's juvenile diabetes. But they did a study where they took the islands of Langerhans from the pancreas, and those are the ones that produce insulin. But rather than introduce them into the pancreas, they put them in the liver of these juvenile diabetics, as they got later on in life. And I think they did it with 5 people, and out of the five, that 3 of them no longer needed insulin. One
wow.
one needed a minor dosage of it, and I don't know what happened with the other one, but the bottom line is it was like a functional cure. They're just working on it. And I had predicted years ago that there would be transplants of islands of Langerhans that would be successful. So I'm thinking probably within the next 4 or 5 years for type 1 diabetics, they will be able to make those transplants of those cells work.
Right.
And so that the person wouldn't be insulin dependent, or if they are, it would just be a tiny dosage, maybe once a week or something. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
So I see a lot of promise coming with that. So your answer to your question is yes.
definitely yes.
All right, your turn.
You go ahead and go.
Okay, Kim All Smiles says, "Hi, Auntie
I
Mel
like
and
that.
Linda."
Kimball smiles.
Yeah. Do you think there will be another November 2024 stunt for the midterm elections for November 2026 with Elania, Elon meddling so that he has no business getting into it? If so, do you think the orange clown and his assistant, Elon, will get caught with their hand in the cookie jar with the evidence clear as day for a 5-year-old to comprehend? I do think they're going to try to meddle, but I don't see them being successful.
I don't see them being successful, and I think part of the reason he even said he was going to do that, knowing he's in huge trouble already, was to get that 1.3 or 8 billion contract.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what it was. Um, Janet Foster says, job market. A lot of people are finding it hard with it taking 9 to 10 months to land a new position. That's true.
That's
All
true.
of these Democrats begging for votes. Is anyone going to admit that the job market is horrible? Well, they tell us that, unemployment was down, but I don't trust
We
government
got
statistics.
clients, we got people, subscribers writing saying, Linda, I'm still looking for a job. It's been a year now. My God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even with the Republicans losing this fall, neither side of the aisle is recognizing the poor job market. The mass layoffs have been constant this year in the private sector, which means governments, local, state, and federal, are going to have to lay people off. This has been no job reports in months. I don't think it's going to do much until after the midterms, to be honest with you, or until after Trump is gone.
Yeah,
The problem is these big companies are going with AI. They've got their manufacturing overseas. And I think that the government should step in and say, wait a minute, you can't lay all these people off, just like the government just did, to cook the books and to make it profitable and then make the existing employees work 10 times harder. That's the Elon Musk model of doing business, and that's going to go out the window once
exactly.
companies are gone. So, it's just as
So
bad to be underemployed as it is to be unemployed, by the way.
exactly, exactly. So you guys, do you have one last question? Because we'll
Let's
close. I'm going to be on with Ness later today. She's doing her August forecast.
let's do a collab with her together. I've always
Oh,
wanted
I
to
love
do.
her. She's great.
She's incredible. It says Swiss Dots says, "Love you, Mel and Linda. I have a twofold question. Do you see AOC becoming a senator?"
I just
Um,
heard yes, big time yes.
yeah.
It's almost like they screamed it at me. I
It's
think, I can tell you, Sterling has often said he sees a female president in 2032. I wouldn't doubt if it was her.
could be. She would be incredible.
Yeah.
But we got to be careful so we don't take too many out of the House and put them in the Senate because we still want to hold on to the
Oh,
House.
no, we're talking 2032.
I
We got a
know.
ways to go.
That's a while ago yet. Katie Fang is amazing. Do you see her winning her case and the ability to review the unredacted files? Thank you. I see her winning.
I see her winning big time. Boy, she's something. She's a go-getter.
He is.
So,
You don't mess with Katie.
now, I saw her on some show the other day. She's in, MSNBC dropped her. But that gave her time to do this gig, and she's doing good at it.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
Um, I wonder if MS now would pick her up. I like to watch
Oh,
Rachel
she's
Maddow.
been on their show lots of times, but she's working on this. She's doing good.
She's gonna do really well. So,
So, any other announcements before we close out?
um, just everybody in this September, Gettysburg, we've got about 7 openings. So call my office, 847-590-5411.
And by the way, those earphones I left in that car, they wrote me after 30 days and said, sorry, we couldn't find them. I said, oh, yeah, someone found them in your facility and took them home. And I showed them the link where they're sitting, but
Yeah,
I
because
stole them.
you had it on your iPhone where they were.
I know.
So don't anybody use Hertz because they don't tell the truth if you leave
They
something.
don't tell the truth. And let me tell you something, I'm going down to Apple. You can't delete, like if I do delete the earphones, then whoever stole them can put it under their name.
Don't delete it.
But if I don't delete them, they can't. But also, I need to probably, I'm going to get, I've never liked Apple Watches. I thought they were ugly. But they have new upgrades and new things that make them look more like a nice watch because I want that heart thing that will let me know if I'm
They
in
have a new
Israel
ring
fit.
that will they have a new ring that will do that now.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't want a ring. I'd want a watch.
Well, the ring actually will monitor your heart rate, it'll monitor your sleep. It's my friend just told me about it. It's supposed to be incredible.
I
So
wonder if that's the one that Andre told me to get, and I bought it and it just didn't work for
no,
me.
this is brand new. Something
Okay.
they just came out with. Anyway, so trip next March to Australia, New Zealand, June, Ireland. Linda put that bug in my ear. And then next year, at the end of September, beginning of October, trip to Egypt, 4-day cruise on the Nile. We end up in Jordan. So, and then in 2028, the very end of January, beginning of February, a cruise. I'm excited about this on the Mekong River going to Vietnam and Cambodia. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, they're saying on the news today that the prices of gas are so high that the airlines, of course, they jumped the gun before it's even up. The airlines are charging an arm and a leg now.
Yeah, but the good news is the travel companies are locked into a contract. The airlines are locked into a
That's
contract with
out.
them for
Yeah.
X amount of time, so they can't price gouge with those companies. So,
When
but
my
that's
sister and I first went on one of those bus tours to France, um, we were able to upgrade to first class for $500.
oh yeah, yeah. Not now.
Oh.
Now they want 5,000.
All right, you
Yeah.
have a lovely day, my friend. Is it
All
hot
right,
there?
cool. All right. You stay well.
Is it hot there?
It was chilly yesterday, but today is like 82. So yesterday was like 70 something, and last night was in the 60s. It was kind of chilly because it was rainy for 3 or 4 days. But today it's the sun's out, it's beautiful. So
Well, we're going over 100, which
oh,
is nothing. It's been hotter in Santa Rosa. But anyway, now we're up there in the
so
in
everybody, if you're in that area, stay hydrated, drink lots of water, not iced tea because that's a diuretic that'll dehydrate you,
and not beer because that's a diuretic too.
and stay inside if you have to, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, sweetie.
All right,
Thank you, you guys, for coming. We'll see you next Monday on Mel's show.
bye.